What's good, everybody? It's your boy Bugatti NYC. Like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere, but the fact that you came here today, I appreciate you. Happy Tuesday. Let me give you guys some time to get up in here. We got some funny stuff to go over. I don't know if you guys been noticing, but there's a lot of stuff that's been going on that's humorous, as well as crash outs, as well as real stuff that families are actually going through right now ever since the election. A lot of people are happy with the results, and many people aren't. Gotta give a shout out to my sponsor, Big Drip Hard Punch, www.drinkbigdrip.com. That's two G's and two P's on Big and P. I'm sorry, on Big and Drip.com. Check it out. Let's go. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's go. 14% alcohol. Big drip. Let's go. Every time's what it's about to be when big drip in your hand. 10 G's, 2 P's. Yes, I like doubles. Double combination out, cause we ain't cutting for the bubble. Bubble, ain't stay in trouble. Come against the drip. Can't so pretty, make you flip and shake again. Yeah, that's great spirits. Wait for you to feel it. 14% blended raspberry lemon. Come on, for men and women, take a sip and take a trip. I can't help but pour it up and get the drip. Big drip, 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 drip. Big drip, 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 drip. Flavors off the charts, five and crack again. That's what you got to get with big drip in your hands. Sweet peas, yes I like colors. Took the combination out, cause we ain't coming for the bubble. Stay in trouble, come against the drip. Damn, can't so pretty, make you flip and shake again. It's natural spirit, made for you to feel it. 14% blended raspberry lemon. For men and women, take a sip and take a trip. I can't open, pour a cup and get the drip. Big drip, 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 drip. Big drip, 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 drip. Flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big All right, y'all. It's your boy Bugatti NYC. Like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Without any further ado, I would like for you guys to check out a little bit of the curated content that I was able to find that has to do with Alyssa Farrah Griffin. She actually calls out Sonny Hostin's epic meltdown over Joe Scarborough's Trump betrayal. What does she mean by betrayal? I guess our friend Sonny Hostin's pretty angry that the host of Morning Joe went to Mar-a-Lago to meet with elected President Donald Trump, and she had a meltdown on the show.
The guys from Morning Joe actually spoke about their visit, and they let them tell you what they thought.
And that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
Yeah, so Steve, I believe their visit was on Friday, but they just addressed it with their viewers this morning.
And to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit.
Joe and I realize it's time to do something different. And that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
Yeah, so Steve, I believe their visit was on Friday, but they just addressed it with their viewers this morning. What do you make of their visit and why they're deciding to bridge the gap now?
Oh my gosh.
A loaded question, Steve.
an amazing turn of events that literally anyone who has tracked the career of these two could have seen coming. They're frauds, but honestly, it's not even just that. It's that last part of the shot that you played there, that soundbite about the idea that we're going to do things differently. Okay, I'm on board with that. I think that there should be a little bit of introspection and humility that comes with getting an election and sort of the mood of the country completely wrong. So instead of talking about Donald Trump, we're going to talk with Donald Trump. Well, that is literally the thought process of no one in America, except for people that spend their time in green rooms in DC and New York, or spend their time staring at a TV camera. Okay, we got this election completely wrong. What should we do differently? Let's talk to Donald Trump. It's totally insane. How about talking about Donald Trump and his supporters in a way that doesn't alienate more than half the country, or maybe talking to some Donald Trump supporters? No, we got to go to Mar-a-Lago and actually literally talk to Donald Trump. It is.
Yeah, so they went to Mar-a-Lago to speak with Donald Trump, and apparently Sunny from The View didn't find that good. She didn't take that very well. So, in retrospect, what do you guys think about that? I mean, it's looking like kind of an olive branch where they're trying to give some sort of reach out where they can come to a mutual ground and they could possibly. What do you guys think about that? I mean, they're trying to reach out, they're trying to gain some sort of mutual ground. They feel as if there's a possibility in which they can, talk about things instead of having a negative outlook on the election. Not only that, but they also realize that they're going to have to speak with Donald Trump for the next 4 years. He's the president now, and no matter what, you're going to have to deal with that. You can actually keep things going the same way that you're dealing with it, as they said, for over 6 years, or they could try to move in a different way. Kind of got to give them a little bit of props for that, because anybody could continue to try to, look at things in a negative aspect, or they can actually try to do it this way. So that's my take on it. What do you guys think? And I want to give a shout out to News Nation, who is providing this information, as well as the Brothers platform that I'm getting this information from, because I'd like to be able to curate this content for you guys and make sure that I'm bringing you guys a lot of good content in a gumbo fashion. So let's go. Let's keep going.
So out of touch, so absurd, and I think it's a sign of where things are going to go in that morning show.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video.
So this is who I want to give props to for using this video. This is Gerald, and this is his YouTube video, and this is where I'm getting this content from, because phenomenal guys like this that actually take the time out to look for the content, to put it all together, and to bring it to you. So I'm not going to just pirate this content, and I hope that he don't get me on a copyright for using it. But I do want to give Gerald a lot of props. We do want to give Gerald a lot of props for letting us use the content. And your topic of Alyssa Farah Griffin, who's calling out Sunny Hostin's epic meltdown over Joel Scarborough's Trump betrayal, which they're calling a Trump betrayal for going to Mar-a-Lago. Hope we got clear on that.
Now, y'all, we are in the wake of the 2024 presidential election, and it seems like these results are tearing folks apart. Folks who used to be friends are no longer friends. Folks who used to like one another no longer like one another. Thanksgiving is just a few days away, and I know Thanksgiving conversation is going to be interesting to say. Just because you don't like it, don't mean that ain't what it is.
So I actually think it was the right.
They spoke with their vote. They voted for Donald Trump. And just because you don't like it, don't mean that ain't what it is.
So I actually think it was the right thing to do. And I've heard a lot of folks on the left coming after Joe and Mika saying, don't normalize him. Well, 75 million plus American voters normalized Donald Trump by making him President-elect Donald Trump. And this notion that if sort of the resistance who opposes him stayed in their safe bubbles, sat on their hands and just complained about him for 4 years, that would have a bigger impact than sitting down. I talked to Mika, actually. They met with him for over 90 minutes. They raised very valid concerns. They both see themselves as opinion journalists who want to actually be able to engage the person that they talk about every day, actually be able to raise issues with them when they're concerned. And in the same way that I thought it was right for Joe Biden to meet with him, and that I think it's right for presidents to meet with foreign adversaries to try to find diplomatic relations and ways to bring people together and solve problems, this is absolutely the right thing. I would sit down with Donald Trump, I would interview Donald Trump, and I'll go a step. Further, I hope good people work for him. We need to stop demonizing people because they supported a man who just became president of the United States. We should hope good people are around him and smart journalists are challenging him.
Are you talking?
Well,
Okay. Look, the bottom line is that America needs a free press that is willing to speak truth to power right now, more than ever. And I think that we have to be very clear-eyed when we think about the president-elect and cover the president-elect. And I don't think you need to sit down for 90 minutes at Mar-a-Lago and kiss his ring to be able to speak truth and to be able to cover a story. So maybe they're not journalists in the true sense. Maybe they're saying that they're opinion journalists. But we have to remember that Trump is the guy who ushered in the era of fake news.
So now she just tried to deflect by saying that they're not real journalists and that they're just opinionists. Not only that, but as you can see, she also said earlier that why do they feel like they have to sit with them for 90 minutes? She's basically saying, why are you sitting with the enemy and why you're talking so long? So she doesn't approve. And then, like I said, she's also saying that, you know, demeaning them as far as being journalists and just trying to say that they're opinionists, which is not cool, Sonny. Not cool at all. What do you guys think? I mean, the race is over. We're getting everything settled. People are trying to get back to normalcy. This doesn't help, in my opinion.
He is the guy who ushered in alternative facts. He is the guy who attacked 3 Black female journalists. He's the guy that revoked Jim Acosta's press credentials for asking him a question. And so I think that this president-elect, I hate to say it, would like nothing more than to have only Fox News cover him, would like nothing more than a state-sponsored media. And I don't think he can be trusted in the way that other presidents can be trusted. This is an aberration.
but the reality is he doesn't just have Fox News. He didn't do a lot of mainstream media this election, but he went on Joe Rogan and reached 50 million people.
Yeah.
None of us could talk to Donald Trump again. No mainstream legacy media could, and he's still going to reach the vast majority of this country. So I actually think extremely highly of both Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. I don't think this is opportunistic. I don't think that this is a judgment on their character. I think they recognize 75 million people voted for this guy. He will be in power short of something, an impeachment for the next 4 years. So where can we make some changes on the margin?
Y'all, it seems like The View's real emotions are coming out. Seems like Alyssa is checking Sunny Hostin. Girl, you about to get your collar pulled. Out here.
I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well. I think that we don't want to think that about ourselves, our neighbors, our friends, but it's my lived experience tells me that it does still exist, even if your lived experience doesn't tell you that it exists. And, the facts support that. I think we have a graph. If you look at there's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris. It's very clear. It's not only clear by race, but it's also clear by education. And so the notion somehow that is not true. This is by education. Those who attended college voted for her at a higher degree than those that didn't.
But I
and
think
I've
you're
said
missing
that.
his point.
Let me just finish. And so I've said that before, and there was so much backlash because I think it's an uncomfortable, inconvenient truth about this country.
But his whole point is they didn't vote for him because of racism and misogyny. They voted for him because they felt like, I think the biggest common denominator in this election is people want a good life and ability to provide for their family.
Well,
whether we agree or not with Donald Trump's plans,
Black people
they thought that he was reflective.
One of the poorest demographics in this country, but they voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I'm white, I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not, let me hear that. What stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect.
Yes, you can. There's a lot
Hold on. Calm down, everybody. Just take a breath. Take a breath.
Well,
there were many headwinds here. There is sexism. There's racism. All of that is true. But I also think there is a real question I hope people start looking at about who people are listening to. In my view, there was an over-listening to and an over-lifting up of people who left Trump, not people who left the Democratic Party. The people who left the Democratic Party are the people who are going to win in the future. The people who left Trump, the never-Trumpers who have important voices and that is not the winning coalition.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, so I also agree with that last statement being said because of the simple fact that we're winning, and I got to be honest with you. I felt the same way a couple of years ago when Trump won the presidency. I was nervous, I was scared, I was shook. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't happy, and then I even voted for the next person that came in, and then I wasn't pleased because I did notice the truth of what's really going on out here. And it's not our fault to understand what's going on. We have these and we have this. And then inside of here, there's a brain. Just like all of you guys have brains. So we need them to understand that once you start to respect us as citizens, as human beings, that's when you're going to get the reception that you want to get from human beings like us. Forget color. Forget all of that other stuff, because we're not stupid. And once we came to America, the majority of us people that are colored saw opportunity. We don't pay attention to color, because I love white people, I love Hispanic people, I love everybody. As long as you love me and let me win. And I'm not going to get in your way, and I'm going to try to help you to win as well. Sadly, about things like this and times that we're in, we get people that go so far to the left and so far to the right that they get uncontrollable and they let their feelings and their emotions take over them. Case in point, this same girl right here. A daughter of an elderly man, basically, with an ice axe, just for voting for Trump after they got into an argument. It's pretty crazy. Try to go through this stuff real quick for y'all, because I know y'all probably on your lunch break and you don't got that much time. But I really need you to check this out, because some people let their emotions take over them too much, to the point where after you go in and do what you do, you don't have the chance to come out and apologize because it's too late. Case in point, the same daughter of an elderly man who took him out with an ice axe just for voting for Trump. This just happened a couple of days ago. And you'll never guess who she works for. She actually works for, I think it's actually Virgin Airlines space program or Elon Musk's space program. You'll never believe this story. I'm gonna try to run through it for you guys real quick. It's only a 2-minute story, but please check it out. Oh, also, I appreciate every one of you guys that come on here, and I'm only 500 away from being at 20,000 subscribers. So I really appreciate if you guys could subscribe to the channel, and you know, this way you get notifications every time I come on, every time I got information that I can update you guys on. We also gonna play hip hop. We're gonna do a whole bunch of other stuff. We're gonna do comedy. We're gonna come and cover a whole bunch of stuff. This is the morning topics, and this is basically political, real news about what's going on, because right now we're only getting it from one side, and we're missing out on the content that everybody really needs to know, which is the place that Trump went to win the election, and that's from podcasters and people like you and me that are on the ground and are living this.
We have new details concerning a brutal murder inside a home in Seattle's Rainier Beach neighborhood. A woman is charged with killing her elderly father with an ice axe after an argument. King 5's Sebastian Robertson joining us live from the King County Jail with the newest details tonight. Sebastian.
Hi, Joyce. 33-year-old Corey Burke is currently in the King County Jail. She's charged with murder one, held on $2 million bail. Now, new court documents obtained by King 5 shine some light into what happened inside that family home.
1 week after Seattle police found a man slashed and bludgeoned to death, a private biohazard cleanup company is seen entering the home.
That's crazy that it happened so close.
It was neighbors that called 911 around 8 in the evening on November 5th, Election Day, when a woman was seen and heard smashing windows inside her home. Arriving officers encountered 33-year-old Corey Burke, who, according to court documents, would not give officers permission to search her home. She stated nobody else was inside. Investigators say she was unable to explain the blood on her face, and officers went in anyway, discovering the body of an older white male laying face down on the carpeted floor. That man, later identified as Timothy Burke, Corey's father. Timothy Burke was found with multiple lacerations to his left side, back, head, and ears. Investigators also discovered a silver and blue ice, a pickaxe, lying on the living room floor.
I only saw all the cops. That's it. Block off the road, and so we came around this way.
From Harborview Medical Center, Corey Burke told an officer there was something important about Election Day, that when her father started arguing with her about the lights being shut off, she just freaked out. Police say she whispered to the interviewer, "I killed him." A source tells King 5 Burke was a training manager for Jeff Bezos' aerospace company Blue Origin. And a LinkedIn profile shows she was employed at the time of the killings. A spokesperson tells King 5 Corey Burke is not currently employed with Blue Origin. Police initially were able to detain Burke out of concern for her mental health. She was taken to Harborview, and that's where allegedly she confessed to investigators about the crime. She was then transferred to jail. Joyce?
Sebastian Roberts.
I started using custom hair care from Pros because I was starting to feel like I wasn't using the right products for my hair type. My hair has always been straight, but with...
So now, I hate to do it.
She was unable to explain the blood on her face.
I want to point this out. Something I want to point out here. It just don't make sense right here. I don't get this part. Okay, it says being reborn. Corey spoke about her recently being reborn, and near her birthday of 10/25/24. Okay. She stated that she knew that there was something important about election day. She continued to say that he was overwhelmed. I don't know who he is unless they're just getting a lot of typos wrong in this brief here, but I can tell you that in the past I have personal account of the newspaper typing stuff totally wrong just in order to get it out. So this could be a bunch of typos as well. So I'm gonna try to get as much of it as I can to make sense here, and maybe you guys can as well. Corey began talking about her relationship with her father and said that she knew it needed to happen today. Corey spoke about her recently being reborn near her birthday of 10/25/24. That's crazy. She stated that she knew that there was something important about election day. She continued to say that he was overwhelmed. Corey spoke about how she had been working on setting boundaries with her father about his emotions. Okay, now that makes sense. Corey stated that she felt that she wanted to help people change their attachments to their parents. She stated that she herself felt hyper-focused and disorganized when it came to her own attachment to her father. Wow, so nowadays kids are out here trying to work on setting up boundaries with their parents about their emotions. I can understand that part. That makes a lot of sense because emotionally you shouldn't be, entering anyone else's emotional area about your personal feelings. So I can understand that. She wanted to help people change their attachment to their parents is the part that I don't understand. Aren't you supposed to love your parents if they love you? That's just a question.
An officer. There was something important about election day. That when her father started arguing with her about the lights being shut off, she just freaked out. Police say she whispered to the interviewer,
She felt overwhelmed by emotions she had been taking in. She then began to cry, saying that she was upset because she thought that she had acted too soon. Corey stated that tonight, when her father started arguing with her about the lights being shut off, that she just freaked out. Corey whispered to me, "Will it help?" I responded with, "Yes, Corey." Then whispered, she killed him. I asked Corey how she killed her father. She said she used an ice axe. She continued saying that she had choked him and it was really hard, really effing hard. She continued to say there were points where she felt she wasn't going to be able to. Corey stated that she had to bite. What? Oh my. There was no more for me to read there, y'all, but it said something about bite, and yeah, that's pretty crazy. And as you can see, people's emotions are going haywire when it comes down to just an election. So I guess that tells you where we are as a people, and we have to be really careful about that and notice that anybody can go off the deep end. It could be you, it could be your friend, it could be someone else that you just don't know. So be really careful out here nowadays, especially with talking about your likes and your dislikes, especially when it comes down to, your political respects. Shout out to Antoine. What's up, Anton? Horrorcore. What's up now, ZZ Style? Douglas, a group of idiots. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, y'all, what's good? It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and I appreciate you guys for coming. Like I asked you already, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And we're trying to get 500 more subscribers to rock up and get all the way to get up to 20,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for coming through. I love the fact that you like the content, and I appreciate you. So I don't want to waste no more of your time, but until tomorrow, to the next time, you know how I always say it, you could have went anywhere. But the fact that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So to the next time, you know how we do it. Get 'em! 1.